Yeah, and he just put that brand new blacktop
Yep.
parking lot down,
Just
so
did
that
all
was super nice.
Yeah.
But it looks like you just had to cut a hole in it. What was with that? That's what I've been really
that was crazy.
interested
That
in all
was the
about.
craziest thing ever. What happened is they came out to drill to see if there was any contamination. Well,
Is that part of just buying a new gas
that's
station?
always part of a gas station because they want to make sure there's no contamination in the ground. So when they did it, though, they never actually came out and did a survey of the ground where everything's at. So they started drilling. They just started drilling in spots.
And when you say drilling, is it like just a small drill bit, or is it like
It's almost like a well. It's like
it's a
drilling,
massive hole?
Yeah, they're drilling. It's not really. It's about the size of about 4 inches.
Oh, okay.
When it started.
Yeah.
Well, then what happened is they drilled into our fuel line.
Oh, so they made it contaminated.
Oh yeah,
That's
Bad.
insane.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So what happens from
We
there?
lost like 400 gallons of fuel. So fuel all filled up this hole, and the only thing that saved us because Rosebud, this whole area is clay, so it was almost like that gas sat in a bowl,
Yeah.
and then they sucked all that gas out into that big tank that was sitting there for a while. So they sucked it all out, cleaned it out, and they only had to get about that much soil out of the bottom
But isn't it gonna be?
to get rid of the contamination that was caused from that fuel.
Oh, okay, because it didn't soak in enough. But
Right.
what would have happened if if that happened? Because there's you're praying that there's no contamination at all in the
Right.
dirt, but I feel like it's very hard for any gas station to go that long without
Well,
getting
it's
any
going to have
contamination.
some. And
Yeah.
it had a little of old stuff from way back.
Okay.
They said it was probably back in the 50s or 60s.
Wow.
Because
It's crazy that they can date it like that.
well, they can tell because of by the soil samples that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So they checked it, and there was some old stuff. Wasn't nothing. They were like, no big deal. But then when they hit this, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So and it's been so long, it's still not fixed as you see. Should be hopefully fixed this coming week.
Yeah.
They got a blacktop company coming out, and it's all been completely repaired, done.
So they paid for all of it.
All of it. They
all
had to
paid
pay
for,
for
right?
everything. Everything.
Someone probably lost a job there.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually when we had the company that came out after they drilled, they located everything. You see the lines that are in the station out there. They located it finally. They said they were like 3 inches from hitting the power
Dang.
drilling. They could have killed somebody.
Yeah. Even hitting the gas.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you're
Yeah,
drilling,
because it's got a drill going.
yeah, a spark just poof.
That's all it would have taken.
That would have been
It
national
was-
news.
I mean, it was just crazy. It was like, and it was a company that, and I ain't going to say the company's name, but it's a company that's been in business over 30 years.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Yeah.
know better. It's like
Yeah.
you don't go into a gas station and start drilling without locating. But
Right.
when I got the locating guy out there and he told me, he's like, well, I can tell you why. I was like, well, what's up? He goes, well, it cost about $5,000, $6,000 for him to have me out here locate all this stuff. He goes, a lot of them companies don't want to pay it.
So they just skip
They
a step.
start drilling.
Yeah.
He goes, but this time it cost them way more than that.
Yeah. And that's, hey, lesson learned,
That's
right?
a big lesson
I
learned
bet they
for
don't
them.
do that again for a while.
No, they won't do that again.
Well, I think the Rosebud General Store, I think it's a big benefit that the tanks are actually out of the ground. Because that's a big
Major
problem.
benefit.
Because that's when I had Dan Breedman on, he was talking about how he was going to buy Delano's or
Right.
one of those gas stations in
Right.
town, but it was going to be such a problem with the old tanks in the ground and
Got to
everything like
pull
that.
them all out.
And we just talked about it. I remember thinking about it after, and I remember I was like, oh, Rosebud's the one gas station. So they might not be the prettiest,
No.
but you know what? At the end of the day, if you want to close it down and turn it into something else, it'd be
can.
easy to take those tanks
Yes.
away.
Very simple.
A lot easier than everything
way
else.
simple because a lot of those gas stations that are like that, they could not ever make that residential. That could only ever be a commercial property.
The ones with the tanks in the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. But up there, it could be.
Yep.
Someone could just
Absolutely.
take them away.
Yep. Good.